The University of Calgary Biomedical Engineering Research and Training Initiatives are driven by a cross-faculty, transdisciplinary consortium of over 300 researchers from engineering, medicine, science, kinesiology, nursing, and veterinary medicine. The research strategy builds upon the dynamic, collaborative environment of research excellence created by more than 30 years of remarkable and internationally recognized research and training. It encompasses a broad approach to solving the biggest human and animal health challenges. The endeavor involves excellent training programs at both the graduate and undergraduate levels, and it has paved the way for multiple startups and companies by faculty and students.
By bringing engineers together with people who know what the problems are, we can start to address these challenges head on and catalyze innovation in a way that we haven't been able to do before.
It's not just diversity in projects, like I said, either. It's the personnel. And so you have real medical expertise, genetics expertise, huge amount of computer programming, engineering, and coming together in a way that I'm not sure is all that common in other places.
The research that we are doing is extremely interdisciplinary. So in our group, we have a range of expertise from engineers, electrical, mechanical engineers, and then biomedical engineers, as well as people from chemistry background and also people from biology background, because this is really an area that we need to have all expertise together to be able to run that kind of program.
We are in the Zymetrics laboratory, biomedical engineering laboratory, that was built out of a combination of a consortium of researchers in biomedical engineering and with the support of different foundations and granting agencies around Canada. So this is because biomedical engineering exists at the university.
Trainees are a really important part of what we do. I involve trainees in the work that we do and the research that we do from the undergraduate level, graduate level, postdoctoral level. Biomedical engineering has really helped through the postdoctoral support, as well as a lot of the graduate student scholarships available through the program. I've also involved high school students into the work. So we try to really look at the continuum of education and training throughout the spectrum of not only students, but also early level trainees, research associates, and career level personnel.
We've had students that were able to work in our lab because of biomedical engineering at the university and the funding provided through that. And we also have most of our collaborators that are either biomedical engineering researchers, such as, for example, Professor Rinker, but also clinicians at the Libin Institute, people that work with images at the Stevenson Center. So it's really a group of researchers and a group of students that are going towards solving these important problems. One of our grants is with the Heart and Stroke Association in Canada, and one of the reasons why we were able to attract that grant is that we were able to do some preliminary data before we obtained a grant through funding from the biomedical engineering initiatives, as well as we were able to attract students. And biomedical engineering is well known, and biomedical engineering in Calgary is well known, and so students will come here and want to work with us because they know, again, that it's not just one individual laboratory, but it is a consortium of professors and clinicians.
BME program extensively helped our group for interaction, collaboration with the people around the campus. BME actually is over 200 faculty members that they work together. So with the support of BME program, we have been able to work with the companies around and get a partnership with them, but at the same time get really close to the clinician and get the help. Particular example, as I mentioned, we developed the kits that is now working for cancer detection, for a concussion detection and infection. So without the support of BME and bringing this clinician on board, engineering would not be able to just solve the problem by itself. So we have been able to, as I mentioned, get connection with the industry itself. So industry comes here and they watch what we are doing, and through the network of the BME program, we just figure out what kind of collaboration is needed to really make the entire team, and the team is now ready to do that interdisciplinary program. So we have been able to translate our technology for a couple of companies we have, particularly, as I mentioned, for infection, one company, and then also a company for brain injuries, and another one for cancer.
Our research program has has brought in roughly $30 million in outside support for a wide range of projects that are in this diagnostic space. We have two really important flagship programs from Genome Canada that support a rapid diagnostic tool for bloodstream infections and a precision infection management strategy that we've developed. And as a part of those projects, we're currently analyzing 50,000 microbial isolates and finding the microbial traits that predict patient outcome from those. In addition, we've received really significant support from Western Economic Diversification for our translational activities, so part of my Alberta Precision Exchange or APEX program. We've also received support from Alberta Innovates. I'm an Alberta Innovates Translational Health Chair, and we have a very exciting award from the CAHR, which is allowing us to develop a rapid diagnostic tool for urinary tract infections.
An important part of the diagnostic strategy is how do we go from discovery of biomarkers, discovery of new technologies and devices, how do we go from that to implementation? How do we get this to the clinic to help people? And an important part of that is commercialization. Many times the technology needs validation, analytical validation, clinical validation, and that needs to be supported by, for instance, a spin-out company. A spin-off company can really help provide additional resources and expertise to think about the technology in a way, how do you make 1 million of these? How do you translate these to 1 million people or 1 billion people? So we try to incorporate entrepreneurship in everything we do. It's the way of innovative thinking, entrepreneurial thinking that really drives the discoveries through to implementation. The biomedical engineering research strategy has really helped me by helping bring together the different groups of people that are needed to make these technologies a success. So I work with clinicians, multiple types of clinicians across campus, scientists, engineers, business, people from the business school, legal teams. All of these are needed to be able to develop, discover, develop, and translate the technologies.
The technology has to reach commercial partners, it has to be implemented in healthcare settings, and it has to be actually benefiting patients for it to do any good. And so our BME strategy, which has really emphasized taking that next step in implementation, developing the partnerships to make that possible, has been a critical part of our success, and I think is just an imperative part of a well-designed program in biomedical engineering.
It's just super inspiring to see how many products are being built, how many solutions are being made over a weekend, but then where those solutions will take us. Like some of them, we could start using them tomorrow in clinics, benefiting patients. Like that is true clinical impact right away. Not only that, but I just see this like snowball effect of more and more impact in more and more ways. So I think you just started a movement.
I think a really big one that Calgarians need to be thinking about right now is the diversification of the economy. We have this incredible world-renowned research institution here, the Hotchkiss Brain Institute. We have excellent funding sources for neuroscience and neurotechnology. It's almost like it's just waiting to happen. There's this untapped resource that's just sitting there waiting to be discovered.
One reason that I really appreciate is kind of the education aspect. So, I mean, some of these projects might go the distance, but for the rest of us, even if our projects don't really become a business or become something, we've all learned like how to start, how to use the technology. And for me, like I've known a lot of the theory, but I've never actually gone and 3D printed before. So this was just getting more acquainted with like the programs, and it's a good opportunity for stuff like that.
In closing, I'd like to share a quote from the recent International Review of BME. The strength of the BME research strategy at UCalgary will be a major driver of growth in the biomedical industry in the region. BME is a tangible example of successful transdisciplinary efforts already underway at the University of Calgary, where we rely on our strong network of scholars, trainees, and industry partners to drive the innovation pipeline. We're primed to align with the university's growth through focus strategy and the larger provincial push towards a digitally enabled, transdisciplinary, entrepreneurial mindset to advance UCalgary's presence on the international stage.